What's up, everyone? All right, so I'm going to give you a recap for today. It's day 7, I don't know, day something of sitting on the floor, my traveling trading station. Just kind of working through it. Anyways, today I got green, but I left some money on the table. So started the day, first trade was on HSCS. I sat down early, and this one popped up on news at 7:30. And I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm jumping in this thing because this one was strong on Friday. And a lot of times it's that second day or third day when you get news, you can get those really nice squeezes. I kind of thought it was going to do more. But, anyways, I got in inside this 5 minute candle here. As soon as I saw it hitting the scanners, jumped in, hit a high of 357, 360, and I was able to lock up $1,191.53. And that was right at 7:30, and then I didn't take another trade until about 20 of 9. So, I kind of sat here for over an hour with no other trades. I saw SECO moving higher, SECO, and I pre-market was sort of iffy on it. So, first of all, it was kind of I sat down early, so I was sort of watching this price action here. And I thought, okay, we've got descending resistance up here. It came up to this area at about 720, tapped 385, and I was like, okay, this could be a trade here. We've got descending resistance, but it wasn't able to break it. It kept dipping and popping back up. So I tried to take a couple dip trades, but I didn't get filled on them. So I was a little annoyed about that. And then it rips up here, and I didn't get a dip there off of 60. I didn't really want to chase it 85 because we already had this history of topping tails. So I just thought, no, I don't think I should do that. And it ends up going to 4, a false breakout up there. It drops down, retesting the blue descending now support line sideways, comes back up to 4, dips back down again. It's just kind of choppy, right? I'm like, I don't know, back to VWAP at the open. I was like, it'll probably come back up, but I don't think I'm going to try to trade that. It's choppy at the open. It flushes down. Then right up here, it tests VWAP, and it blows through the VWAP, comes up to 386, up to 4. Look at that false breakout. So now you've got two, very clear high volume false breakouts. Of course, there was also this one here and this rejection at the open. So now we have a very well established history. It does come back up, which honestly surprised me. But then it rejected again. And then, anyway, so I left the money on the table by, I suppose, not trading this break of VWAP here, or maybe not trading this squeeze from 380 to 5. But I also feel like I probably avoided some unnecessary risk that would have been required to take trades on it. Anyway, I guess I took one trade and I made 38 bucks on it, but that was so that was at the open. I got in at 380 and I bought 1,000 shares. It goes up to 390. It dips back down. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get out. And then it popped up to 420, and I was like, gosh darn it. But whatever. And then there was this GDC stock that came up. This was kind of an unexpected move. So this one pops up on scans at right in this area, and some traders mentioned it. They said, hey, take a look at GDC. So I was like, okay. So I took a look at it, and it was at about 580. At the time when it first popped up on this candle here, 578, 580 on the ask, but it was like, I don't know what it was on the bid. It was 512 on the bid. So I kind of didn't think much of it. I was just like, I don't know. I looked at the daily chart, and I was like, okay, it's a stock that has a somewhat recent split. It's got some room back up to the 200, and it's interesting. The float's pretty low. It was our third leading gapper in the market today. So I was like, that's interesting. So I'm kind of looking at it. I have the level 2 up. I'm looking at some other stocks, and then I notice a big bid came up on the level 2 at about 575 right here on this candle as it started to break. And when I saw that, I pressed the hotkey to buy, and I filled 1,693 shares, a partial fill of a 3,000 share order. I then placed another order. I didn't fill anything of the second order. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know. So then I sold 184 shares at 655. And then I added back 977 shares at 661. I was like, whoa, this thing is moving. I took some profit at 711. I sold 146 shares at 859, which was crazy. And then I added back at 871. It just, rips up here. And I was like, okay, here we go. I could switch this to a 10-second chart if you want to look at it a little bit more clearly. So it was wild. And, every now and then we see these stocks that will make these kind of moves. So basically, it just skyrocketed right up here to a high of 970, which was crazy. I was like, wow. It then pulls back, and I was like, I'm buying this dip. So I bought that dip as it pulls back, and it comes back up here to a high of 958. And through this area, I bought this dip here. I kept doing dip trades. I was like, I'm buying the dip, and then it would come back up. I would take profit. I'd buy the dip, take a little profit. Buy the dip, take a little profit. Did a dip, took a little profit. And then I kind of was like, you know what? I don't know. I'm kind of, it's pulling back a little bit more than I'd like. So I'm just going to sit tight on it for a second. My last two dip trades, I don't know. The last one was like 850. So like maybe it was this one here. Didn't really pop up that well. And I was like, I don't know. It seems like it's getting a little heavy. I'm not really sure what's going on here. So anyways, I was like, oh, that's fine. So I was like, let's just wait for the 1 minute chart to form. And I said, I'm going to be a buyer. I'm looking for this to break through about 915 or 920. That's where I'm going to go back in for the squeeze through the high. And then in this candle, boom, what happened? So I don't really know. It just all of a sudden 40,000 share order, or big order goes through 40,000 shares and it drops. I guess I kind of thought a couple things. One, it didn't have short sale restriction on it. So there was nothing stopping short sellers from hammering the bid on it, just like hitting the bid with some big size. So it could have been a bear raid of short sellers hitting the bid. It could have been someone who'd been holding for a while who just took profit. In this area, I mean, there was more than enough room to buy dips, sell profit, buy dips, sell profit. I suppose it's possible that someone had a stop right here, but it wouldn't really make sense that it would drop that much. I think there must have either been short selling or maybe someone who'd been holding for a while taking profit. You never really know. I mean, when you have these stocks that have been beaten up for a while, you do worry about that risk of someone who's maybe averaged down on it and is in really low or whatever, just taking profit. You had this day here where it squeezed but then dropped. So, for all we know, there could have been someone who was just happy to sell it anywhere in this area because they've been holding from that period, because it hit a high of almost $10 way up here. So when that rejected and came back down, I was like, I don't know. SECO, a little choppy, not super clean. GDC reversed. KAL at the time had pulled back below VWAP. So I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling anything at the open. And you know what? KAL ended up squeezing up, but then halting down twice. So that was really choppy too. And that's where I sort of said, you know what? I think there's too much chop today. I'm grateful that I got a couple of good trades. I wasn't expecting to have, a 4-point squeeze on GDC or whatever it was, 3 points. So I'm just going to take that and live to trade another day. I'll be back at it tomorrow. So, that was it. That was my day. Traded I guess 2 of the top 3 gappers, and then HSC ended up actually being a gapper to the downside, which is one of the reasons I was like, HSCS, I was like, I don't know if I should stick with this one, because it closed so strong on Friday that even at the top of this move, it was only gapping up like 5%. And I think this morning right now, let's see what it is. HSCS, it's gapping down. It's down 21% right now. So yeah, a little bit of a wild morning. SECO, that one's probably given in some ways the most false breakouts. I mean, you see another one right there. So it's been really wild, but there have been some opportunities. GDC, wild, KL, that one's been kind of a roller coaster too. So a little bit of a choppy day today, but I managed to get green, capturing about, let's see, so my trade on HSCS was 3,600 shares. So I made about 30 cents on HSCS. And I made on GDC, with really 2,500 shares, I made like $2 a share. I did pretty well on that one. That was unexpected. SECO made only 3.5 cents. So those are my trades for today, and I'll be back at it again tomorrow. Those of you guys who missed my episode on avoiding bull traps and false breakouts, I'll put a link to that right up here. And I hope you guys check it out and enjoy it. And I want to remind you, as always, that trading is risky. My results aren't typical, and there's no guarantee of finding success. Whether you trade with me or you'll learn on your own. So please manage your risk. Practice this simulator before you put real money on the line, and don't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. All right, I'll see you guys back at it first thing tomorrow morning.